Training camp is just a couple of days away. So before we get into all you need to know about Texans training camp and breaking down every day of practice, I wanted to go over some guys who have the most approved during training camp. And before I give you my list, I want to hear from you. Who do you think has the most approved during Texans training camp this year? Coming up, I have 5 Texans players who have a ton to prove during training camp this year. A lot of, the Texans depth charts roster is going to depend on how these guys play during the preseason and during training camp. And once again, training camp starts July 17th. We've made it. We've made it through the dog days. No more rumors from random sites, no more top 5 lists, top 10 lists. We are breaking down actual football, thank goodness. So the first player on my guys that need to step up, who have a lot to prove, that's going to be Henry To'oTo'o. This name's so nice, they said it twice. Second-year guy out of Alabama, Henry To'oTo'o. Is expected to be the third linebacker for this Texans team. They lost 2 guys in free agency, Denzel, Perryman, and Blake Cashman. They only signed 1 legitimate starter in Azeez Al-Shaair. So I believe DeMeco Ryans and company have a lot of, hopes and well wishes for To'oTo'o this season. So far on the depth chart, I have him starting at that Sam linebacker position, that strong linebacker right there, alongside Azeez Al-Shaair, alongside Christian Harris. So Henry To'oTo'o has a chance to start in this Texans defense, has a chance to get a lot of playing time this year, but it's all up to him. He really has to prove himself and show out during the preseason and training camp this season. If not him, Texans going to be looking at those guys right underneath them. Del'Shawn Phillips, Neville Hewitt, maybe Jacob Phillips, maybe the UDFA, Max Tooley. One of those guys, maybe the late-round pick, Jamal Hill, out of Oregon, will have to step up if it's not Henry To'oTo'o. And throughout all of training camp, throughout the entire offseason, during the regular season, every single point of the year, we are bringing you free Texans content. And I saw somebody say, you know what, I don't want to subscribe because I don't want a monthly bill. Well, here on YouTube, it is 100% free to go down and hit that subscribe button. That just means it'll show you our videos more on your feed, and you will have a quicker access to our channel. We're trying to get to 15,000 subscribers, so go down and hit that sub button for daily Texans content. We are so close. We only need 66 more subscribers to hit the 15K. I told my bosses, Texans fans have my back. We're going to do it by the end of the month. Don't prove me wrong. Go down and hit that sub button for daily Texans content all year long. The next guy that needs to step up, that has a lot to prove going into training camp, it's Jalen Pitre, the third-year safety out of Baylor. Rookie season, phenomenal. Last year, not so much in his first year in a DeMeco Ryans defense. I think they really played him out of his comfort zone last year. He's really better inside the box, playing closer to the line of scrimmage. They had him kind of playing back into coverage, and that's not really his game. We look at his splits from 2022 to 2023. Obviously, across the board, he was way better his rookie season. 5 interceptions, 8 pass breakups, a QB rating when targeted of 88.2. Compare that to last season. Only 5 pass breakups, 0 interceptions, and a horrific QB rating when targeted of 135.4. Really need him to get back onto the saddle, get back into the good graces of this coaching staff, and play a lot better this season, because obviously we know he has the potential to do so. They added Kalen Bullock in the 2024 NFL Draft, so really need him to step up, and hopefully his playing style, his way that he is utilized this season in a DeMeco Ryans defense will be better than it was this past season. I think year 2 in the defense also, being able to be a little bit healthier. He got injured in that first game against the Baltimore Ravens last season. Hopefully a healthy offseason, year 2 in a DeMeco Ryans defense will spell good things for Jalen Pitre, because he has a lot to prove going into year 3 in his rookie contract. Another defensive back guy in the secondary that has a lot to prove, a former top 10 pick, Jeff Okudah. He was one of the first guys the Texans signed in NFL free agency this offseason, And, I mean, was one of the more notable names they added to this defense this offseason. A former top 10 pick, as mentioned, from Ohio State, was drafted by the Lions, didn't pan out there, played last year for the Falcons, and had a very roller coaster season as well. Played pretty well, and then he ended up getting benched at the midpoint of last season, only to come back in as a starter. Will he play well for this Texans defense? I mean, Kamari Lassiter has been proving a lot, the rookie out of Georgia, that he could possibly be that second guy on the outside alongside Derek Stingley. Same with Desmond King, who's played pretty well in the nickel. But Jeff Okudah, this could be his last chance, his last stop in the NFL if he's not able to produce for the Texans this season. A former top 10 pick, has a lot of potential, obviously has a lot of skill for being drafted in the top 10 of the NFL draft, but can he put it all together and give the Texans a little depth in the secondary? That needs to be proven during training camp and the preseason this year. Now, coming up, I have two offensive players with the most to prove this offseason, the most proved going into training camp. I'll let you know who those guys are in just a moment, but I got to show you this from our friends over at Fanatics. If you don't have a Texans hat, hey, they have every single style imaginable that you would want. I'm going to just have my producer Smitty roll these all through the screen. But if you want a new Texans hat, hey, it's hot outside. It's very sunny. Go get it today. chatsports.com/Texans hats. All of these styles are available. A ton are on sale as well. So if you want to be fitted in the brand new Texans hats, they have the new logos as well. If you want to get them, all of them are available. chatsports.com/Texans hats. That's going to be put you right to the Fanatics page. I'm going to put that link in the comment section and description of today's video. Go check them out today with our friends over at Fanatics. Next up, offensive lineman Kenyon Green, another former first-round pick out of Texas A&M. Now, he played not well his rookie season. I'm just going to put it out there, not to mince words. He was ass his rookie season. Last year, had a lot of high hopes, but he got injured in the preseason. That last preseason game against the New Orleans Saints, injured his shoulder, was put on IR for the entire season. So, looking for him to come back and possibly take that starting left guard position back this season. This is what DeMeco Ryans had to say this offseason on Kenyon Green. I'm excited for what's ahead for Kenyon, because he's really put in the work to give himself a really good chance this year. We know he had the surgery last season, so he was battling back, rehabbing. But when the beginning of the year hit, he was focused on himself, focused on his body, getting in shape, getting stronger, and it was really good to see him back being able to play at full health. I mean, the Texans need Kenyon Green to step up this season. They put a lot of faith into the former first-round pick. We heard DeMeco Ryans, what he's had to say on Kenyon Green. Nick Caserio has had some good things to say about Kenyon Green as well. All the reporters that were there during minicamp OTA said Kenyon Green looks like a different guy. He's in much better shape than he was his rookie season. A lot of guys saying he kind of lost his baby fat, where he's kind of shredded down a little bit of the fat, added more muscle. So will that translate to him playing better on the field? Because it's needed that this front five really protects C.J. Stroud this year. Your franchise, your number one guy, the quarterback for the Houston Texans, he needs to be protected. So Kenyon Green playing at left guard, he's got some big shoes to fill. He's got a big hole that he needs to step into, and Kenyon Green needs to prove that he is the starting left guard this training camp and preseason. And the next guy, the guy that's right next to him at the center spot, JuJu Scruggs. He's another guy that needs to step up, has a lot to prove going into training camp. Last year, a rookie out of Penn State, was played out of position a little bit, played at the left guard spot out of necessity because the Texans had so many injuries along the offensive line. But JuJu Scruggs now moving back over to the center spot. I talked to Aaron Wilson, and he said, yes, Scruggs will be playing at that center position for the Houston Texans this season, and they really need him to step up. The second-year guy out of Penn State, if him and Kenyon Green are solid on the interior, the Texans have a much better offensive line than they did last year, because the run game was awful and the protection was very much a roller coaster last year for this Texans offensive line. And if JuJu Scruggs can't play center, will Jarrett Patterson have to step up? He played very well, the late-round pick out of Notre Dame last season. 7 games played, 0 sacks allowed for Patterson in his time there. So it really comes down to, can JuJu Scruggs, can Kenyon Green step up and be those starting offensive linemen that the Texans need this year, because they need to improve this offensive line if they want to compete with the best in the AFC, a loaded AFC, and meet those lofty expectations that we've all put on the Texans this season. I'm really interested to see how this offensive line shakes out towards the end of training camp, end of the preseason, and going into week 1. Now, before I end today's show, I've been trying to get out of the office as soon as possible today. I don't care if my bosses see this. I'm trying to get out of here as soon as possible because I have College Football 25 already set up, downloaded on my PS5. So I need to know, did you get the new college football video game? And if so, would you want to play me? Go drop your gamer tag down below. I play PS5. I know they might do cross-platform, so just drop your gamer tag. Let me know if you have a PS5 or an Xbox, because I'm trying to get as many College Football 25 hours as I can. I was talking with producer Smitty before we started the show today, and I said, hey, I'm going home. I'm starting my dynasty. I'm getting my Road to Glory set up. I'm getting probably a good 6, 7, 8 hours of College Football 25 going tonight. Let me know, are you as pumped as I am to get this game back and going? A long time in the making, over 10 years without a college football game, and we finally have it back. So if you're as excited as I am, drop your gamer tag. Maybe play a couple games. I'm thinking about starting a Twitch as well. Let me know. Would you watch a Twitch of me playing College Football 25, possibly playing some of my viewers here on my Twitch channel? Let me know. I kind of want to get that started as well. If you have any questions, if you want to just chop it up, talk more Texans football, you know where to find me on Twitter at Jeremy Chuggs. My DMs are always open. And like I said earlier, we are closing in on 15,000 subscribers here on the channel. I need your help. Help me prove to my bosses that Texans fans are here and they represent, they rep hard. H-Town, hold it down. Go hit that sub button and help me get to 15,000 subscribers here on the channel.